Just a reminder to vote in this week's Locals poll, where you decide what deck I take to Locals every single week. Without any further ado, I hope you enjoyed the video. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and for today we have the deck profile for the deck that won the Locals poll this past week, being Odd Eyes. This is actually a different build than the one that we brought to Locals, because we had made some last-minute changes. About like 9 different cards were changed at the last minute, and no one had them for trade, so we had to bring the old version. But this is the version we're going to be rocking with going forward. So yeah, let's get into it. First off, 3 copies of Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon. This one, when Odd Eyes gets popped, you special summon 1 from the deck. Next, Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon. We also have 3 of it. You can discard it and pay 500 to search for a level 8 or lower Dragon Pendulum monster, and that is not once per turn. Next, we have Odd Eyes Phantasma Dragon and Odd Eyes Lancer Dragon. These are just some of our big main deck beaters. Not really going to go into them too awful much, but yeah. Next, 1 Odd Eyes Dissolver for fusion plays. 1 Wizard for resource management, because when he gets popped, you get to search, or not search, you get to special summon an Odd Eyes monster from your deck, and then search Spiral Flame Strike, and that is actually not once per turn either. Next, 3 copies of Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. He is kind of like, you know, the star of the deck. 3 Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon. He just does extra damage regardless of what zone he is in. 1 Janky Magician to try to make Odd Eyes Raging Dragon if possible. Next, this is the first of the new additions, being Performapal Monkey Board. You know, this allows us to get our get one of our other Performapal monsters straight from deck to hand. Next, 1 Odd Eyes Persona Dragon. This is just a searchable level 1, or not level 1, scale 1 Odd Eyes monster, so that's why we have it. Next, 3 copies of Skull Crobat Joker. So this one is, of course, one of our prime targets to search off of Monkey Board, and it searches another thing, so that's really good. We also have 2 copies of Performapal Help Princess. This is another new addition to the deck. Basically, it provides a free body when we summon a Performapal, so we can go into like Beyond the Pendulum, stuff like that. Next, 1 Noble Dragon Magician. This is for our Synchros, and it can special summon itself by reducing the level of a level 5 or higher Odd Eyes monster. Or excuse me, level 7 or higher Odd Eyes monsters level by 3. So we can access our Synchros, or again, it just adds another body so we can go into some of our links. Next, 1 Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph Dragon. He can get the ritual spell from deck or grave during the end phase while he's in the scale. And then he serves as a spell negate when he's in the monster zone. And then if he was ritual summoned, when you activate that effect, you also get to special summon an Odd Eyes monster from the extra deck. So, you know, that extra bit there is nice. Moving on to the spells, 2 Odd Eyes Fusion. This helps us going second. Since if our opponent has at least 2 monsters on the field and we have none, we can actually just use monsters from our extra deck as material. Next, 1 Terraforming to search the field spell. 3 Spiral Flame Strike. This can be either a searcher or a destruction, depending on, you know, what you want to do, and this also is not once per turn. Next, 1 Odd Eyes Advent. This is the ritual spell. Basically functions the exact same way as the fusion spell, so not really going to dwell on that too long. Next, 2 copies of Soul Pendulum. This is another new addition to the deck. Basically, it allows us to modulate our pendulum scales every turn. And then when a pendulum monster is pendulum summoned, it gains 1 counter. And then all pendulum monsters gain 300 attack for each counter on the card. And then we can remove 3 counters to conduct a second pendulum summon that turn. But it's mainly just for the scale modulation and the attack boost, because the goal is just to summon a bunch of big beaters and just go to town. Next, 1 copy of Sky Iris. He protects your pendulum scales from being targeted by your opponent's card effects, and then you can pop another face-up card you control destroy it, and then add an Odd Eyes card from deck to hand. So this, of course, has great synergy with the Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon. Next, going into the extra deck, one Beyond the Pendulum and one Exceed the Pendulum, just to get more resources. One Dark Rebellion, just as an option if we have the ability to make it, because between these guys and then also this reducing one of these guys' level, we can make the rank 4. So we also have Absolute Dragon, to deal with attacks or just to link it off in order to get to the Vortex Dragon. Next, one Dark Anthelion Dragon. This one is basically just Dark Rebellion as a quick effect, and it only takes 1 material. That's basically all it is. Next, one Odd Eyes Raging Dragon. He's my favorite one. He is hard to summon, unfortunately, but if you can get him on the field, it's worth it, just because of the havoc he can wreak on the field. Next, one Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon. So with this one, we are just going to make him with 2 level 7s, so then we can slap the next guy on top of it, being Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon Overlord. When you do that, he can make 3 attacks during the battle phase. So yeah, basically, like I said earlier, just make really big beaters and go to town. One Clearwing Synchro Dragon. This, of course, provides some negation for our opponent's high-level monsters. One Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon to set up Xyz plays by summoning something from the Pendulum Scale. And then for the fusion, we got Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. He's a bounce on summon, and then he can also serve as an Omni Negate. One Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, just to try to help with, really problematic monsters if we can't access our rank 7s. This is the final new addition to the deck, being Performapal Gatling Ghoul. When he's summoned, you inflict 200 damage to your opponent for every card on the field. So, potentially a lot of damage. And then, if he was summoned using a Pendulum monster as material, you get to non-target destroy an opponent's monster and burn for that monster's attack. So, yeah, really liking this card. Really, really enjoying it. Next, one Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon, because basically we can just tribute him, or summon him by tributing one of our Dark Odd Eyes Dragon monsters and the Monkey Board. So, and then he also does some burn, so that extra damage is nice. And then finally, one Rune Eyes Pendulum Dragon. This takes an Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, so this guy specifically, plus a Spellcaster, which we've got a few. And basically, if it's fusion summoned using a Pendulum Summon monster, it's unaffected by all your opponent's effects for the rest of the turn. And then it can make different numbers of attacks based on the level of the Spellcaster monster used as material. If it's level 4 or lower, you can do 2 attacks on monsters, or if it's level 5 or higher, you can do 3 attacks on monsters. So, yeah, that is it for the deck profile. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, this is the build that we're going with currently. You can see the stuff in the side deck. That was the stuff that I had to put in there just to make the deck legal. So it's 40 cards since I didn't have these other ones. And it was too many to proxy. So, but yeah, this is what we're going to be rocking with going forward. It's fun. And we are going to be getting that Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon Retrain from the Limit Over collection in Japan sometime. So that's actually going to be really, really nice. But anyways, like, subscribe, vote in the locals poll, that good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time.